we are going to be talking about Ozempic and drugs like Ozempic. And we're going to be talking about this. This is like a very serious conversation to have. So if you are ready for some fact-based, like non-judgmental talk about these type of weight loss medications, you're in the right place. Hi guys, welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back if you've been around here a while. I'm Kendra, this is Kendra Creates. This is my space for sharing my weight loss journey with you. Hopefully I can help you out along the way if you are on a weight loss journey. Also, I do commentary on a number of topics, usually centered around health, wellness, weight loss, fitness, stuff like that. And also you'll learn a little bit about me along the way. So if that stuff sounds interesting to you, then make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Now, to get down to it. Okay, so if you've watched my channel any amount of time, you know I'm on a weight loss journey, and you guys know that I have been on Saxenda for a couple of months now. Saxenda is one of those GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, and we are going to get into it. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I'm on a weight loss journey. I've been obese all my life. And it seems to me like people have extremely strong opinions, usually very uninformed opinions and ignorant ones as well. And I just wanted to talk about this topic to kind of clear things up a little bit, to also educate, inform, and just give things from a different perspective. Because I know people a lot of times are on the outside looking in when it comes to obesity, weight loss medications, things like that. So this is from someone who has been obese all their life, is on a weight loss journey, has lost a substantial amount of weight without weight loss medication, and that is currently losing weight with weight loss medication. So yeah, also I do want to apologize for my voice. And I'm going to be like sipping water throughout this thing because my voice, okay? So hopefully we can kind of get through this video with my voice, and hopefully it doesn't crack too much. Or I don't cough too much. Okay, so let's start talking about what are the GLP-1 drugs. Now, I know that most of you guys have heard of Ozempic and the controversy surrounding it because it's a diabetes drug. But there are many GLP-1 drugs besides Ozempic, and they're FDA approved. They're available here in the United States and also many other countries. So let's talk about the names of them. There is liraglutide, which is marketed under the name of Trulicity. It is a weekly injection. There's exenatide, marketed under the name Byetta, that's taken twice daily. There's semaglutide. Now this is Ozempic for diabetics. There's also a version for weight loss. It's called Wegovy, okay? There is liraglutide. There is Victoza, which is for diabetics. There is Saxenda, which is for weight loss. There's lixisenatide, which is Adlenix, which is daily. You have to excuse my pronunciation of these. And then there is also a semaglutide called Rybelsus, which is taken in pill form daily. So there are many of these types of medications, not just Ozempic. And for the record, I also forgot about Mounjaro, which is tirzepatide. It's marketed under the name Mounjaro, but the drug is tirzepatide, and it's also marketed for diabetics. It's brand spanking new. Like, this medication is so new. But there's so many, and there are medications for weight loss. So when people talk about like Ozempic, everybody's not taking Ozempic. Like, some people take the same drug, but it's called Wegovy and it's for weight loss. So people take a different drug, not semaglutide, but liraglutide like me. I take Saxenda. It is for weight loss. So that's just to let people know that there is more than just Ozempic. And these drugs have been around for a very, very long time. So when a lot of people say like, oh, what are the long-term consequences? Like, it's FDA approved, it's been studied, it's been in trials, people have been taking it for many years. Like, what else y'all want? The first GLP-1 receptor agonist was exenatide, which was approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, in April 2005 for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. So this is how these drugs first came into existence, is because they were looking at ways to reduce insulin levels and to balance blood sugars and all that good stuff. And so they were given to diabetics, and they noticed that a side effect or whatever was weight loss, because you got fuller faster and it causes changes in the hormone leptin. And man, you felt like you were full and you felt great and you were losing weight. And they were like, hey, I wonder if we can market this as a weight loss drug. And so they ran trials on it and they marketed it as a weight loss drug. And that's what they did. These drugs have been around for many, 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 many years. It's not like somebody woke up last year when those Ozempic craze started and then people just randomly started taking it. No, that did not happen. So 2005, they've been around, they've been studied. We have a lot of data on it. So it's been around. The GLP-1s have been here. So let's talk about what the GLP-1s do. Now, I know some people are thinking, oh, people are cheating weight loss, or they're taking the easy way out, or whatever kind of verging on fat phobic remarks people can say, I guess to make themselves feel good, to make other people feel bad. But unfortunately, we still don't have a magic pill. We still don't have anything that can bypass the law of thermodynamics and people can just lose weight in a snap. Those drugs do not work like that, okay? And I'm just throwing out their education. It takes a lot of hard work and consistency, because my hunger, is helped because I am staying fuller longer and I'm getting fuller faster. But I still have to watch what I eat. I still have to eat in a calorie deficit. I still have to make sure that I am expending more calories than I am taking in. Therefore, I do exercise 3 to 5 times a week. So for people to say that, oh, you're taking the easy way out, or you're cheating weight loss, or whatever negative thing that people want to say about these types of drugs, it's false. It's false. Clearly on the Saxenda website, it's the only website I've been on because that's the only drug I'm acquainted with. It's the only one that I've personally taken. It says that you need to follow a reduced calorie diet, and you also need to make sure that you are physically active. And so they work by controlling blood sugar, okay? Like I said, this is the reason why they were kind of found to be in existence, because they were initially diabetes drugs. They mimic the action of a hormone called glucagon-like peptide 1. That's the GLP-1, right? When blood sugar levels start to rise after someone eats, these drugs stimulate the body to produce more insulin. The extra insulin helps lower blood sugar levels. Lower blood sugar levels are helpful for controlling type 2 diabetes, but also they appear to help curb hunger in some instances. Sometimes this is like short-lived in patients, because I know people talk about like appetite suppression and all that with the drugs. That's not really what I had with this drug. Like, I've always been hungry. I've always been hungry. I've always been able to eat. If you go through my week 1 through 21 videos, you see I eat. And it says these drugs also slow the movement of food from the stomach into the small intestine. As a result, you may feel full faster and longer, so you eat less. So it slows gastric emptying. So the food kind of just sits there in your tummy and you feel full and good. The hormones, the GLP-1 hormones, affect receptors in your brain to where you are now feeling full. You're not feeling hungry. Also, they affect that leptin hormone as well. So we got a lot of help with hunger. And y'all, that is what I needed. I don't know about anybody else taking a drug because I can't share their experiences. But yo, I was on a plateau for 2 months and I was just like, man, I'm hungry. So I was eating. I'm like, I'm not going to starve myself. I'm going to eat. And so, yeah, I'm making all around better choices, but there comes a point in time where, I can't get under 1,800, 1,700, 1,600 calories per day because I'm hungry. And so everyone feels hunger differently at different times, at different levels, because, regardless of what people think and what people say, everyone is just not a flat slob sitting around the house, not doing nothing, not trying to change or not wanting to change. So now we know a little bit about the GLP-1s and how they work. Okay, so let's talk about who can take Saxenda. Because like I said, I'm only going off Saxenda because that's the only drug I'm acquainted with. I'm pretty sure it's very similar for the other drugs as well about who can take what. But I'm talking specifically about Saxenda because it's the only one that I personally know about. And of course, I'm not going to go down all these drugs with the requirements. So just a little bit of education. Here in the United States, obesity drugs, or even those marketed for diabetes like Ozempic and Victoza or Trulicity, you do have to have a prescription from a doctor. Now, this could be a medical doctor, a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant. Those are all people here in the United States who have prescribing privileges. Now, every country is not the same. So while you see everybody flaunting, their Ozempic or flaunting whatever other prescription medication that they have, they may live in a different country. If you live in Mexico or you can get over the border, you can walk into any pharmacy and pick up some Ozempic or pick up some Saxenda without anyone asking you anything, which is very unfortunate for people. But that's just how it is in their country. And so I think this takes some heat off the patient because people are like, oh, people are just getting these drugs and just using them. And here in the United States, people aren't just getting the drugs. They're going to some type of doctor, some type of medical facility, and someone with prescribing privileges is giving it to them, prescribing it to them. And a lot of that responsibility falls on the prescriber. Now, the prescribers I know and the ones that I've been acquainted with are ethical and they're professional and they wouldn't risk getting their license taken away for some shenanigans. So they're going to follow the rules, okay? I went to an obesity specialist to get my prescription, and they have a whole program set up for people. It's not just like, okay, let me give you this medication. Nah. I went through pages of questions about my health history, about my weight loss history, and what I've done to lose weight and what I'm currently doing to lose weight. They have a process in which you try regular diet and exercise first. And I have been trying that. As you guys know that have been following my journey, 2021, I just incorporated exercise. I lost 25 pounds. 2022, I incorporated the Nutrisystem diet. So I was learning nutrition and still continuing my exercise. And then later on in the year, in September, I introduced Saxenda. And I lost about 48 pounds last year. And so I've done diet and exercise. I've reduced my calories. I eat right. So all the critics talking about it's a lifestyle change and you can't cheat your way out of weight loss. Well, anyway, so the people that are supposed to be taking it here in the United States are people with a certain BMI. So if you have a BMI equal or greater than 30, which is what I had or what I have, because I'm still considered obese. I'm almost out of the obese range. Then that just based upon your BMI, you'll be able to get the prescription. But of course, this is all very dependent upon your insurance, but it'll be prescribed to you. And then if you have a BMI between 27, 28, or 29, you have to also have some weight-related medical problem. I'm assuming something like sleep apnea or maybe diabetes or maybe PCOS or something like that. I'm not sure specifically because I don't have any of those currently weight-related medical issues. Now, when I was nearly 400 pounds, I had a litany of things. I had sleep apnea, I had high blood pressure, I had tendonitis in my foot, I had all kind of achy joints and things like that. But we ain't talking about that though. All right, so those are the requirements. There are also requirements that your doctor should go over with you. Because if you've had certain conditions, then you should not take the medication either. If anyone in your family has ever had MTC or MEN2, it's like some kind of medical condition. If you had a serious allergic reaction to liraglutide, if you are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, those are just a couple of those. But your doctor will go over your full health and medical history, and they'll go over other things like my doctor did. And they'll see if you're an appropriate candidate for the medication. So people are talking about, people getting it, like the celebrities or whatever, or whoever, I don't know. Those people. The only people I know that are taking it are like legitimate, like obese people that need it or whatever, those with weight-related medical issues. It's not for people that have 10 pounds to lose. Like, that was not what this medication was for. So now you know a little bit about who it's prescribed to. Okay, so we're going to get straight into the controversy surrounding this drug or whatever. Now, I say this drug, but I'm talking about liraglutide, semaglutide, tirzepatide, all the GLP-1s. People taking away diabetes medication. No, people are taking away life-saving diabetes medication. So let's just clear this up right now. No one is dying without Ozempic. Okay? I'm just throwing it out there. This is something for people to think about. Now, is it right that people are taking a diabetes medication and they aren't diagnosed with diabetes? No, it's not right. It's not what the medication was made for. Let's be real. Let's be honest. But is it 100% and completely and utterly wrong? I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is because obesity is a disease. It's a very serious medical condition that needs to be addressed in some type of way. And people need help. And when people try to get that help, they are judged, they are mocked, they are ridiculed, they are put down. People are being told that they're cheating weight loss or they're taking the easy way out. But why do we have to suffer when it comes down to weight loss? Like, I swear, it's the only medical condition that people are like, no, you don't need treatment. You just need to put a fork down. You just need to walk or exercise or whatever. When people try to seek that treatment, it's like, nah, it's not available for you. So it's like, where do you draw the line at when you're talking about disease? Like, is one disease more important than the other? And then I feel like a lot of these statements are honestly like bordering on fat phobia. Okay, y'all know how I feel about fat acceptance and all the fat phobia rhetoric and all of that is not really up my alley. But there's really no other way to explain it than that. Like, seriously. Because thinking about it, what do we tell people with other conditions? Right? If someone is suffering from depression or anxiety, do we just tell them like, okay, well, don't have ruminating thoughts. Like, just get happy. No, we tell them to go see a therapist and see a psychiatrist and get on medication if that's what you need to do. Right? What do we tell alcoholics? Do we tell them just stop drinking? Or do we tell them to go seek a treatment plan or whatever? What do we tell people with EDs? Those that are not eating? Do we just tell them, just eat? Just eat. Or do we tell them maybe you need to go in treatment? What do we tell people with other medical conditions? I feel like people that are obese and overweight and they suffer with their weight, they're told something different. They're treated with no sympathy, no compassion, no kindness, or nothing. Just think about it. If there was some asthma medication, right, for people with asthma, and say now they found that it curbs the need to drink for alcoholics, right? And so doctors were prescribing this asthma medication off label. And because we have so many alcoholics in the world and people want to try to get, off the booze and, live a happier, healthier lifestyle and be productive citizens, their doctor prescribes it off-label to them. And they take it, and people are kicking the habit. But it causes shortages in asthma supply. It doesn't cause shortages in other asthma supplies. People can still get inhalers and other prescribed medications and things like that. Asthmatics aren't dying because of the shortage. Do you think that people would feel differently? Do you think that people would have different opinions? Do you think that people think about this Ozempic thing and all of this because it's dealing with weight loss? Because it's dealing with fat people? Or maybe it's because of the TikToks. I don't know. People do not like social media. I don't know. But it's made me think about a lot of things, and it's made me think about a lot of how people are. And especially those who have never suffered from obesity or been overweight, they always have a lot to say. They are the loudest. They are the ones with the strongest opinions that, honestly, an issue that has nothing to do with them. So yeah, there's my popular opinion on how I feel about the whole prescribing off-label. And so if you guys don't know, I've said that several times, prescribing off-label is just when a medication is prescribed to someone for not the reason it was made. And I know that the Ozempic was made for diabetics and to help with diabetes, but it's being prescribed for weight loss. That's an off-label use. And a patient can't get it here in the United States unless a medical doctor, nurse practitioner, physician assistant, someone with prescribing privileges, prescribes it to them. So it makes you think about the state of healthcare here in the United States and, how people are suffering from obesity as a disease and how we're trying to solve it. I'm glad these drugs are around, honestly. And I feel like we need to increase the accessibility of them. Just my personal opinion, my personal unpopular opinion. Now, I know that I've talked a lot about the positive things about the drug and, people needing it and needing access to it and it helping solve the obesity epidemic, right? Now, there are irresponsible prescribers and irresponsible patients. And I talked a little bit about that with like the celebrities or people needing 10 pounds, getting their hands on the drug, because some prescribers just give it out. They ask for it and they're giving it. And if they can afford it, celebrities or whoever, and they don't have to go through insurance, and they could just buy it out of pocket. My drug is like $1,500 here in the United States. I'm not sure how much the other ones are, but they're expensive as well. And then there are irresponsible patients. People that go down to Mexico and go into the pharmacy and get it. They don't know if they have any kind of background that's going to interfere with the medication and cause issues. They don't know. They haven't been to the doctor. They're not getting their blood levels checked, so they don't know how the prescription is affecting them. They don't know. And they're the ones that get on the internet and they're the horror stories, and they're the ones that's, oh, this medication is so bad, it's going to kill everybody. They haven't even educated themselves. And a lot of people that go to reputable doctors or whatever, they don't educate themselves either. I see it every single day because I'm in like Facebook groups and people are asking questions like, that was literally probably the first thing that I read when I was researching this information. No, you're not a lab researcher. You're not a medical researcher. You're not a doctor. But you can read information. You can understand it. You can ask your doctor questions. Hopefully that is what these people do that are on this medication so that they can know what's in store for them. Because on the website, there are a litany of side effects that you could possibly have with this medication. And I think that those side effects are a lot of times blown out of proportion. Because usually for the majority of people, they have very manageable side effects that usually go away. And if you've watched my videos, I did not have a rough time at all on my medication. That my side effects were very minimal. In fact, there were things that I usually suffered with. So I didn't know if it was the medication or it was just my body being crazy, because my body is crazy. You hear the loudest stories of those that have complaints, because the people that are satisfied and happy, they aren't really saying nothing, until they lose all the weight. And then they say, hey, this worked for me. I'm so excited. If you should talk to your doctor about this or whatever. So I think a lot of those are blown out of proportion. Yes, some people get sick. They do. Yes, some people, the medication is not for them because their body just does not agree with their body. That is the truth. Yes, these things can happen to you, but the likelihood of something very, very severe happening to you is very low. The obesity specialist that I go to, their practice, was involved in the clinical trials of the medication. That was so many years ago. And over all of these years, they've had one case of someone having pancreatitis. Now, pancreatitis sounds really severe, right? And my doctor told me, she was like, if you have severe abdominal pain, go to the ER. It's very, very curable. And I'm not trying to downplay pancreatitis or anyone who has ever had pancreatitis. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. But it's not like you're going to die from pancreatitis if you are treated fast, okay? So this is another thing that people need to do. People need to look out and see what's going on with their body, and they need to get help from a medical professional, not from the freaking internet. If you're having issues, go to the freaking doctor. I had an extreme sore throat and I went to the doctor. Come to find out, I had strep throat. Like, go to the freaking doctor if you're having issues. Don't ask the internet. The internet is an idiot, okay? Also, it's the truth though. The internet is an idiot. Also, people are worried about like long-term effects or whatever. And like I said, this has been studied. It's been FDA approved. It's been around for a very long time. I don't foresee people in 15, 20 years dropping dead from the medication. But we all know that when something new and different comes out, vaccines, people have something to say about things, and they are not doctors. Always have an opinion, even though you have no medical training or research experience at all. Never even read a journal article. Wouldn't even know how to interpret one. But everyone has an opinion. I'm just here to try to give some fact-based information and to enlighten people who are ignorant about the topic, and try to open up a healthy debate and a healthy conversation on why these drugs exist, and honestly, why they're needed, and they're needed at this time in history. I am so happy I've had the opportunity to talk about this, and I want to continue talking about this. I want to continue talking about everything dealing with health, weight loss, wellness, fitness, whatever. From my perspective and my point of view, someone who has been obese all their life, like literally all my life. Someone who is currently on a weight loss journey, someone who is currently taking a GLP-1 drug, someone who tries to show empathy and kindness to people, and honestly try to see things from a differing perspective and a differing point of view. That's what I'm trying to do. And I hope you guys can do the same. I know people who are watching this video are like on a weight loss journey, or like, you might be on a GLP-1 or whatever, and you're like, you go girl, yes. And then there are some people who like just clicked on this because it said something about Ozempic and they really didn't watch it, and they're in the comments causing trouble. That's fine too, if that's what you want to do. But I just challenge you guys to, before you form an opinion about something, to do a little bit of research on it. Try to understand it, or try to see things from someone else's perspective or point of view, because your point of view is valid, right? But it's not always right. And it's not even always the best point of view. My point of view might not be right. It might not be the best point of view, but it's what's best for me, okay? When I talk about weight loss and there needing to be more accessibility to things and more options to people, also there needs to be more education too. Like I said, it's not like you inject a drug and you just lose weight. That's not what happens. And I feel like a lot of people aren't educated about basic nutrition. They aren't educated about basic weight loss. Some people do take the drug thinking that they're just going to drop weight like crazy. Maybe in the beginning for some people. It didn't happen like that for me. But maybe in the beginning for some people, because they can barely eat, or, they have no desire to eat or whatever. It's very short-lived. You may get that for a month, maybe 2 months max. But that's not how the drug is made to work. So you have to be in a calorie deficit in some kind of way. And I feel like people do need a lot of education just across the board, even thin people, even normal sized people. I made a statement. I'm pretty sure I eat better and I have better habits than 50% of normal sized people because, I've changed my lifestyle, whatever that means. That's a lifestyle change y'all talk about that fat people need to do. I've done it, and I was still hungry and I was still eating. And some people have genuine hormonal issues. I know it's not the majority, but a lot of people that are on these drugs are women with PCOS. And if you know anything about that condition, you know that it makes weight loss a lot harder. Not impossible, but a lot harder. And other types of hormonal issues as well. And people are finding success. And when I say success, I'm talking about, I've heard women say that they're growing less facial hair now because that is a symptom of the PCOS. Women are getting pregnant because infertility is a symptom of PCOS. You can just not believe the successes that people are having with these drugs. All y'all see is the negative. All y'all see is the negativity. I'm bringing some positivity to this stuff because people are now living. They're excited about life. They're doing the things that they always wanted to do. And it's because of these types of drugs. I've seen so much amazing things, even with myself. I am almost under 200 pounds and I have not been under 200 pounds since I was a freaking teenager, okay? I am going to continue talking about my weight loss experience. I'm going to continue amping up GLP-1 drugs. And I want to be an advocate for anyone who wants to lose weight, who's thinking about losing weight, who's thinking about trying a drug or trying to open up that conversation with their doctor, because people are scared of facing all of this judgment. And it happens. People hide the medication from family because they're scared of what people are going to say. Imagine hiding a prescription medication that helps you with your medical issue because you're scared of what people are going to say. That's the state of affairs with obesity. It really is. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I have lots to talk about. And when it comes down to this weight loss health thing, I'm not going to stop talking about it because people need to hear about it. Health is important. Weight loss is needed in this society, even though people think it's not. All of this stuff is important for us. And I just want to talk about it. And I want to continue talking about my experience and everything. And if you're on board with that, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I'd love to have you here. And for you guys that watch my videos, and you watch my videos every week, even if you don't, you watch them time to time, you're like, oh, she got a new video, let me watch it. I ain't watched it in a long time, but it's okay. I appreciate you, and I'm glad you're watching me. And I want you to continue watching me, so please do. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Also, make sure you continue to spread kindness in a world full of hate. Don't be mean to people, especially those overweight and obese, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what kind of day they had. You don't know what kind of ridicule or judgment that they have to face in their lives. So just be kind to folks, okay? All right. I want to thank you guys once again for watching my videos, and I will see you on the next time. Bye-bye.